Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
And we begin with some breaking news out of Frankfort tonight. Governor Bevin says he intends on calling another special session to tackle the state's pension crisis. This all comes as he vetoed House Bill 358 today. That bill would have provided pension relief for state universities and other agencies. The governor said the measure violated the moral and legal obligation the state has to the affected retirees. He did not specify when to expect a special session, but hopes to call it before July 1st, the start of the state's fiscal year. We're still trying to figure out all the specifics, and we hope to have much more tonight at 11 and on WYMT.com. Today, the trial for the man who killed 5 people in a 2015 crash was supposed to begin, but as a surprise to many, Jason Gibson decided to plead guilty. Here he is. The crash that killed 5 people, one of them being an unborn baby, happened in Clay County in late 2015. He pleaded guilty to 4 counts of murder and 1 count of fetal homicide. WYMT's Connor James was in the courtroom and talked with family members of the victims about the guilty plea.
Steve, it was in the middle of jury selection when the judge dismissed the jurors, and like you said, Steve, that came as a surprise to many. There had been an offer on the table, which he decided to take. As family braced themselves for the long days in the courtroom, the dread and anxiety set in.
We all take it day by day. I mean, that's all you can do.
But in a turn of events Tuesday afternoon, Jason Gibson pleaded guilty, a burden lifted from the families.
It's kind of like a sense of relief, but then it's really not, because you know that nothing's ever going to bring your family members back.
For years, they grieved for these 5, Charlene Lewis, Judy Pennington Adams, Tiffany Williams, Williams' 23-month-old son Kyson, and her unborn child. Gibson admitting fault for the deaths of all 5.
And now it's kind of time to set into the healing process, since we don't have to come to court and see him all the time.
Now the family can begin to move on.
He'll be spending an awful lot of time in prison and restless nights before he's ever eligible to even meet a parole board.
As things come to a resolve. Now sentencing for Gibson is scheduled for May 6th at 1 o'clock. He's looking at 30 years for each charge. Steve?
Connor James in our newsroom, thank you. Police say they caught a Harlan County man in a hotel room with an underage girl. Investigators say Trevor Weedman answered the door yesterday in his underwear. The girl was in the bed. Police say he told them the girl said she was 18, but the girl's mother went with them, and she's actually 13. They charged Weedman with sexual abuse and unlawful transaction with a minor. A family asked him to watch their home, but police say he stole from them and even threw a party at their house. Now Donnie Hammonds is behind bars. He faces burglary, wanton endangerment, and unlawful transaction with a minor charges. Investigators say he bought alcohol for 3 people underage last week and then stole a Yeti cooler he pawned off and cell phones he sold for $60. She claims he loved his son, but police say he murdered the 1-year-old. Tonight we are hearing from the mother of Vaughn Brock. Police believe he killed his son Cash and then set their trailer on fire. She defended her son today after a judge sent the case to a grand jury. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on what she believes happened.
That Vaughn loved his son unconditionally.
Angie Brock came to the Laurel County Courthouse Tuesday as her son went before a judge to hear the early facts in the case.
He would never do anything to hurt his son.
But police say 26-year-old Vaughn Brock is responsible for starting the fire that claimed the 1-year-old's life. He's charged with murder and arson. Police say Brock ran from the fire, and later Joseph Cash Brock was found dead. Angie Brock has her own theories.
When I walked in, Cash had a cigarette lighter.
That her son didn't start the fire, but maybe her grandson did.
I think that Cash got up, and I think he got a hold of one of them butane lighters or a lighter, and I think the little feller accidentally set the house on fire.
Brock's attorney told the judge that there is no evidence that Brock tried to intentionally start the fire, that he tried to burn down their trailer. But the judge said there is enough evidence to find probable cause. Police have said Brock ran from the fire and was not found until 5 days later.
He ran. He was scared. He was scared, you all.
Police also say the toddler was found in a washing machine.
I think that he was smart enough to get away from the fire.
The grand jury will now consider the case against Brock, who remains in jail on a $500,000 bond. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The Laurel County grand jury will consider the case against Brock when they meet on April 19th. A Michigan family is suing 2 restaurants accused of over-serving the driver who caused a deadly crash in Lexington. The Abbas family of 5 was killed in the crash. Police say Joey Bailey, who is also killed and grew up in eastern Kentucky, drove drunk the wrong way on I-75, hitting the family. The family is suing Horseshoes Kentucky Grill and Saloon in Lexington and Rooster's Wings in Georgetown. Bailey's blood alcohol level was more than 3 times the legal limit. Governor Bevin is asking President Trump for a disaster declaration for almost 60 Kentucky counties. It's because of flooding and landslides earlier this year. Many of those counties are here in eastern Kentucky. State officials say the weather earlier this year caused more than $40 million in damage across the state. In the last 10 years, the Commonwealth has had 19 federal disaster declarations.
Those beautiful blue skies have finally returned to the mountains after a gloomy start to your Tuesday. You'll notice that here as we take a look at our Moorhead camera along Interstate 64. We saw those mostly cloudy skies a little bit earlier today, but then we saw those get out of here, and now we're actually looking at those mostly sunny skies up there in Moorhead. US 119, US 23 and Jenkins looking dry over there as well, with a few clouds throughout the day. Much of the same story on satellite and radar. Those clouds pushing to the south and to the east as that front continues to push through and continues to dry us out. Temperatures are into those lower 70s to about those mid 70s across our area. Feeling great outside, so definitely get out this evening and try to enjoy it. Maybe enjoy some dinner on the back porch. Now, as we head throughout the rest of the overnight hours, we are going to continue to see those clouds get out of here. We're also going to see those temperatures drop a little bit into about those low to mid 40s. So a little bit chilly for your Wednesday morning. Definitely going to want that light jacket, but the forecast for your Wednesday and Thursday is looking pretty good. We'll talk about that and more coming up in just a little bit. Steve.
All right, Paige, thank you. A reminder for some of you living in Floyd County, tomorrow the city of Martin plans to have its second reading on a controversial annexation deal. We learned about the meeting last week. A letter sent to the city of Prestonsburg said Martin city officials plan to vote April 10th. We still have not received a notice of a meeting, despite sending multiple requests to be notified of meetings as Kentucky state law directs them to do. The Attorney General's office ruled last month the city violated the state's open records laws by not releasing documents on the proposal to community members. A community is coming together to help employees of a McDonald's in Clay County. You may remember a fire destroyed the restaurant Sunday morning. Now 52 people are out of a job. That's why Warm Souls for Worn Souls is hosting a spaghetti supper and benefit concert. The event is this Thursday, the 11th, at the Crawdad Building. It begins at 6 p.m. and costs $5 per person. All proceeds are going to the employees affected by the fire. We've told you about a handful of new businesses coming to Laurel County recently, and the newest one was announced yesterday. Officials with the London Laurel Industrial Development Authority say Kohl's will be located in the old Kmart building at the London Marketplace. Kohl's will be one of 4 businesses here. Another is Planet Fitness, and 2 more will be announced at a later date.
Of course, we've announced that Kohl's is coming to our community, and that means more jobs. That means more options to shop and places for our people to enjoy. So we're pretty pumped about what's coming down the road, and this is just really the tip of the iceberg.
Officials say a lot of this comes from the City of London and the county working on these projects together. Muhammad Ali's daughter, Layla Ali, is tonight's guest speaker at the Excellence in Leadership series at the University of the Cumberlands. This is the 14th year the school has hosted the event, and Ali is the first woman to be a guest speaker. WYMT's Justin Case is at the university with a preview of the event. He joins us now live. Justin.
Steve, right behind me, you can see this is the Rollins Center. You can see this is actually where the event is going to be held in a little less than an hour. I'd say about 50 minutes from right now. Now, I did just talk with Layla Ali and the university president, Larry Cockrum. Now, Cockrum says the point of these events is to show the students in attendance that the great leaders they see, like the 4-time undefeated boxing world champion Layla Ali and other speakers here at the event, were just like the students in attendance at one point. Layla Ali says she wants the people here to come away with the feeling that the possibilities in their own lives are limitless. She says great leaders are people who follow their passions but also take time to give back to their friends, families, and communities.
How am I going to give back, right, without feeling overwhelmed or feeling burdened? But for me, it was really a matter of figuring out what my passion was, and, you know, because you have to be a happy individual first. You know, you definitely have to live your life, so you do have to think about yourself. And then along the way, you think about how you can be a great role model, how you can help others, but you definitely have to help yourself first, so it's all a balance.
Steve, now Layla Ali will have a message for the women in attendance, not just everyone here, but a specific message for them. That message is going to be that you don't have to sacrifice either femininity for success. You can balance both, and you don't have to sacrifice one for the other. But a lot more coming up tonight at 11 from this event, which starts in about 50 minutes from now. Back to you, Steve.
All right, Justin, thank you. From contract labor to health care, a job fair in Letcher County has a little something for everyone. Representatives with PMP Construction and Letcher Manor joined together this week to host a job fair at the Letcher County Recreation Center. PMP Construction, a company that contracts its workers to various job sites, is looking for positions ranging from underground mine work to security. Letcher Manor is hiring several nursing positions and has openings in its housekeeping and dietary departments. Representatives from both companies say the job fair is a great way to reach members of the community and help grow the region's workforce.
It kind of helps and gives people the opportunity to get out and search for work that's in need for employment, and we are hunting for people, so maybe it'll work out good for both sides.
They may not know that these positions are even available to them here, so it gives everybody a chance to know what's available in their area and to apply for those positions.
Applicants interested in Letcher Manor positions should apply on their website prior to attending the job fair. That job fair continues tomorrow from 2 p.m. until 7 p.m. For more information, just go to our website.
And we continue to see that clearing effect. We're seeing a clean sweep here on Pinpoint Doppler, but does that continue over the next couple of days? Sunshine does continue, but those scattered rain chances return pretty quickly. We'll talk about that and more coming up in just a few minutes.
But first, hear how a new program at the University of the Cumberlands aims to relieve some stress at hospitals and clinics here in the mountains.
When you see new